What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome to the Casually Chelsea show. I am Marshall DBDX, your host, and I'm accompanied by the lovely panel of Oliver, Winter Surfer, Ahmed, and Real Chris. Guys, today we're going to discuss Potter being a little bit out of his depth, the potential of Joao Felix staying at the club and how that's going to work out with Nkunka, and also what's going to happen with the captaincy at Chelsea and Mason Mount's contract. Welcome to the show. Make sure you smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you haven't already joined our membership, be sure to check that out. 4 different tiers starting at 99p. You get all types of awesome emojis that come with it as well, and more to come the more members we get, and perks, which will be used very soon. Keep an eye out for that. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our future streams. Leave a comment down below if you watch us in the future. Let us know what you think about anything that we're going to be discussing today. And check out the links in the description for more of our content, including my Twitter and all that fun stuff. So, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and start this show by discussing the latest on Azpi and what happened yesterday. So, to give you guys an update, Azpi is doing all right. He's feeling better, according to Nazar Kinsella, and will be out of the hospital very soon. And then the captain himself with a message to the Chelsea fans right here. Hey, everyone. Thank you all for the love and message of support. My family and I would like to thank everyone who has been looking after me since the incident. So for those of you who don't know, for those of you that live under a rock, for those who are extremely casual Chelsea fans, Azpi took a terrible kick to the face from a bicycle kick last night that led to him being, I guess, concussed, knocked out, cold on the pitch, taken out on a stretcher, and it was very concerning, but good to see that he's doing all right, recovered for the most part. It'd probably be a while till we see him play. He hasn't broken any bones or anything, but I'm sure all of us agree. Happy to see Azpi doing all right, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Definitely.
And I actually just looked into this. If it is a concussion, that's only 1 to 2 weeks, so not long at all. And just good to see that he hasn't broken anything, because when I saw that kick, and you can hear it on the footage when you're actually watching the game.
Yeah.
Especially if you're wearing headphones, you can hear the connection, and you're thinking, "Oh, has he smashed his orbital socket or his cheekbone or something?" And that would have obviously taken him out for a lot longer, which is bad for him as a person in general. You know, no one wants to be injured. So thankfully, it's only 1 to 2 weeks, and like we all said, great to see that he's doing well.
Yeah, rest up, man. Half is always important.
For real. And honestly, when you were talking about the collision, it reminded me a lot of the collision that David Luiz or Raul Jimenez made during the time when we didn't have members in the audience for the attendees, the lockdown matches.
Yeah.
And the fact that you were able to hear it despite the crowd, that just goes to show how huge of an impact it is. So I'm just happy he's okay. I'm happy he didn't break anything, and I'm happy he's going to be playing for us soon, hopefully, surely. But I mean, the biggest thing is that he does rest up and recover. But on to the next topic that I want to discuss with you guys is, I guess, a continuation of yesterday's discussion, which is the big Potter out debate. Obviously, there's not really much of a debate. I think most of the fan base are pretty much exhausted with how things have been going for the club. And so here's a little bit of insight as to what people are saying and what the accounts have been reporting in terms of what may happen with Potter and the future of him at Chelsea Football Club. So here we got the first tweet from PYS reporting David Ornstein here. Chelsea owners still have a lot of changes to make. They're confident they got one of the best managers in the game. The board feel it will take some time for new players to gel and understand Potter's methods and tactics. This was reported earlier in the week before the Southampton game. Later on, we have another tweet here from Fabrizio Romano, or from PYS reporting Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea want to protect Graham Potter. They want to proceed in this process together. Results are always needed. This is the mission. This is the mission for Potter, to get them as soon as possible. And at the moment, there are no conversations with other managers. Again, this is earlier in the week before the Southampton game. Here we have Liam Toomey. Internally, there was a feeling at Chelsea heading into Dortmund, from ownership down to winning the UCL again this season, is well within their grasp. They feel with the additions of Enzo, Felix, Mudryk, they have more talent than they won it in Porto, which is to a certain extent it is true. I feel like we do have more talent in the squad than when Chelsea first won it, or second time that they won it with Tuchel in Porto 2 years ago. But I don't know. We did discuss this yesterday. We'll go more into that.
I've been getting it today.
But we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it. Chelsea back Graham Potter to replicate Mikel Arteta after passing owners' review that Thomas Tuchel failed, apparently. Chelsea are a long-term view despite pressure on results. And then what's down here? Okay, this is something else. Almost done here. So this is yesterday now. After the match, told no change in Chelsea board position on Graham Potter. They're still backing him. The bigger immediate challenge for Potter is to stop the fans turning on him. And that requires a big, quick upturn in results and performances. Oh, yes, it does. Fabrizio Romano reporting yesterday as well. Potter, I'm sure there will be people out there that think I'm the problem. I don't think they're right, but I am not arrogant enough to say their opinion isn't worth articulating. Adam Newsom reporting that as well. I'm here to help the team keep working through a team period. And then I think we have here from yesterday's as well. It's not thought that the defeats of Borussia Dortmund and Southampton will change Chelsea's faith in Graham Potter. The ownerships are still investing in him long term, despite the poor run of form. And I believe that's everything I got. Chris, what were you going to say?
I was saying I've been getting it a lot, like today in training, man. I'm like, there's two Chelsea fans in training. I'm like the one who, like the mouthy one, I guess, when their teams are doing shit.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been getting like Potter and Chelsea like losing every game. So like today they say, no, are you Potter in, Potter out? I just keep saying Potter out now because the only way I think with Potter like can maybe win over the fans, maybe, is if he beats Dortmund. Like he might like win over like a few people. I don't know, but that would give me a little bit more confidence because I don't know where I can get any other sort of confidence. Like the Premier League is like we're gonna be fighting mid-table all season probably. Hopefully we can get some points. I don't know, but yeah, like beating Dortmund would be like a plus. But I can't see us winning against Dortmund, but it would be a plus for me. Like the whole Potter thing.
So, I mean, I think that's going to be a huge factor. And I think that's going to be a huge factor for the owners. I don't think the owners are going to sack him this season. I really don't see it happening. I think I think even their advisors are telling them that it probably would be wise to wait till the end of the season to see what options arise and who is, I guess, could be in contention to take over for, Potter, if they were to come to the conclusion they're going to sack him. But I think the biggest straw that'll break the camel's back, that will be the deciding factor as to whether or not they're going to continue on with him next season or sack him in the summer, is going to be whether or not they get eliminated from Champions League come the second leg of Borussia Dortmund. I don't know if you guys feel that way. I think we discussed this a little bit yesterday as well.
I still maintain he's not getting sacked this season. Like, regardless of what any of us as Chelsea fans think/want, he is not getting sacked before the end of the season. Like, look at everything that's happened up until now. Like, with everything that's been, especially if you go off what's been reported, right? Like, some of the stuff that was talked about, especially in terms of what Matt Law said, where are you able to bring up one of the things he said? I can't quite remember. It was I think the first thing you brought up that he said.
Let me pull it up for you 1 second.
But yeah, he's not going until the summer, regardless. We just lost to the worst team in the Premier League. Like that's who we just lost to. Like, going on what Chris's point said, it's like the easiest way to turn it around for himself now is results, and we couldn't get a result against the worst team in the league. So it's like that. What makes you think we're going to get a result against other teams? Even if we do, like we saw it before, we got a result against Palace, and since then we've done fuck all. Even if you look at the West Ham game, for example, where like we might not got the complete result, but we got a good performance. Next Premier League game, we lose. Go back up. It's the go back down. It's not the tweet. It's the thing where he's linked with the article. Not that one, obviously.
I'm trying to think maybe
him
winning back fans. But...
What was the last tweet you'd bookmarked or you'd found where it was like it was his article? It wasn't a tweet he'd done. It was like,
oh, was it the Liam Neeson thing? Or Liam Toomey, rather, not Neeson.
I had a point on it. I completely forgot what I was going to say, which is really annoying on that. But
It's
really
okay.
annoying.
I'll find it. I'll find it.
No.
But yeah, it's just like he's not leaving. Like regardless of what happens, unless the whole entire playing staff decides they're not going to play, like he's not leaving. Especially as well considering like the money they've invested. I didn't fully quite comprehend this until I saw Eunice talk about this or tweet about this, and then I watched kind of a little bit, kind of a couple of the clips on it on Matisse's channel. Do you guys know, by the way, how much that Potter was being paid by Brighton?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
2 million, yeah,
I
2
saw
million,
that.
2 million,
Yeah.
Have you seen,
That's
by the way, where
insane.
that? Do you know where that ranked him in terms of highest earning managers in the Premier League as of last season?
Oh, don't tell me.
Probably what, 15th?
Like
He was,
11.
not third. He was third to bottom. He was the 18th,
17th.
of the 20th man.
Oh,
No. Of the 20 managers in the Premier League, he was 3 from bottom, and they gave him a 600% bonus. Like a 600% increase. He went from being the third lowest earner in terms of from last season in the Premier League to the fourth highest.
That's why I don't get it.
Regardless of what, as I said, regardless of what we think, what we want, whatever, he's not leaving before the end of the season. For good or for bad, whether that's a good thing, bad thing, whatever, he's not leaving before the end of the season.
I will say, I know people are jumping on that story about Eunice. I don't see it as a big deal, really. You're going to get paid more at the big club.
I think it's not the fact that it increased. It's the size of the increase. It's how much it's and what it does to me more than anything is it just reiterates the point that they are going to stick with him. Right. They are basically going to stick with him until it gets to the point where it is bordering on like catastrophic in their mind, not in our mind, not in the fans' mind, not in the players. Until they see that it's bordering on catastrophic, they're not going to do anything. You don't give that kind of an increase to a guy. You don't put that much faith into a guy to get rid of him after a few months, regardless of the results. And that's why I say he's not leaving.
Unless Andrew's gonna say, I think it's a little bit of a big deal because, like, if he's on like 2 million, what I saw, why not just give him like 6 million? Like, Chelsea as a club is like a big enough reason to go there, and then give him a bit of a bonus, of course, like 6.
Let me ask you a question. Did you care what Thomas Tuchel was on when he won us the Champions League?
Of course not.
Did you care what Jose Mourinho was on when he won us the league?
Nope.
Did you care what Conte was on when he won us the league?
Nope.
No, it's the same argument I have with players. You only care about what someone's earning when they're doing badly for you. Mm-hmm. That's why I say this isn't, in terms of this, for me being a non-story, it's just what someone's being paid at this time. Do you know what I mean? He was always going to get paid more. They wanted, obviously, in terms of what Scott's saying, unfortunately, I do agree with him. In terms of if you're going for a long term, you're going to pay that manager quite a lot of money. Okay, it's just one of those things. If we were winning, no one's going to call out anything about what he's earning or anything like that. It's only because we're losing. To say like, oh, we were going to maybe they should have given a smaller wage thing, but that's done now, isn't it? You know what I mean? No one get when. I mean, I know some people brought it up. Well, when he first signed, oh yeah, but if he doesn't do well, we're going to have to pay him a lot of money. But then when we had that run about 8 or 9 games when we were doing well, no one said anything then. So. It's just what I will say as well.
The other point I was going to make on the Arteta comparison, I dislike that comparison because much as I didn't rate, like my opinion of Arteta has gone up, especially this season, but I still do not think he's like anywhere near the level of manager that some people think he is. But the biggest difference between what he did at Arsenal, especially in that first season, and what Potter is doing now, there's a few things. The biggest thing is he won a trophy. Say what you want about the way they played football, you know, the luck they got in the final. They won a trophy. Like, and as well, the thing is there's a couple things. And one of the things that he did that I'm not actually that mad that Potter for not doing is Arteta completely went away with what he wanted to do. He went for defensive, counter-attacking football because it was the players he had. And I don't necessarily want Potter to do that, but that was one thing. Also, the thing is as well is Arteta straight away went in there, and Andrew and has talked about this to death, and I know he'll probably keep carrying on talking about it while it's still not happening. Is Arteta went in there, and there were some players that he told to pack your bags and sit the fuck down or leave, like straight away. And it was the same thing with Ten Hag. Like
you should have challenged him to an arm wrestling match for each one of the players. That's what you should have done.
That's the thing. Is like that's the thing as well. Is there's certain things Potter can do. Actually, going back to this thing about the results thing, there's actually other things Potter can do that even if the results aren't quite there, he can still endear himself to at least some portions of the fan base. Number one is by not coming out with these pussyfoot answers in terms of like in press conferences. Number two is start having some backbone and spine with some of these players that deserve it. For example, your Havertz, your Mount, so we're starting to see a bit more, but it's still not to the level that it should be. Your like who else? Your like he started to do it with like Koulibaly, which was good, brought him back in. I think what he's done with Aubameyang, I know people don't like it. I think it's fine. But
you'd argue Azpi maybe.
You need to do it with more people, or you need to be a lot harder with it and be fair with it. It can't just be a select couple of people, because then you get what we've got now. And that he has got there are some, as I said, there are some things he can do to endear himself, but he has a massive hill to climb.
And Scott, I it's not even just the pussyfooting comments for me. It's also like there was that quote yesterday. What was it like? I'm not the problem. Like, comes off as a bit arrogant and a bit comfortable. Like, you should be saying something more along the lines of, you know, it's my responsibility to prove my doubt as wrong. I think it comes off in a very bad way in a certain context like this, when you're hearing that the owner's going to back him no matter what.
I don't necessarily care about those comments, just because like no manager is going to say they're the problem. Like I'm fine with that.
No, but what I said though is he should say something like, "It's my responsibility to prove my doubt is wrong." You don't have to come out and say, "Oh, I'm not good enough." I'm just, you know, there's a certain way to word it that won't elicit a reaction.
That's fair. For me, it's more the stuff of like the comment about Southampton being a I don't know what the exact quote was, but like
drill team, well organized.
Well organized.
Yeah, drilled.
I'm sorry, this is a team that hadn't had a clean sheet in like 2 years.
Yeah.
And then it comes to like I'm sorry, this is a team that has like their current manager. Please someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm fairly sure this is his first managerial job. 2 or 3 years ago, he was a video analyst.
Oh, God.
Really?
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing well drilled about this team, about the team we faced. I'm not hearing it. That's the sort of I mean. Just say you.
Oh, sweet.
They lost to 10-man Wolves, what Andrew was saying. Just embarrassing, man. Overall, like, I don't know. What was I gonna say before about the salary, right? Jumping from 2 million to what, 12 million now a year?
Yeah.
I don't really care about how much he's getting paid, but I think what it does is it does allude to what Oliver was saying, that it gives it a little bit of an arrogance. It gives him a little bit of a complacency that I think is kind of hindering what we want from him, to be a little bit more aggressive, be a little bit more, just assertive about what you want out of this team and what you want the players to do and perform. And it's like what we said yesterday. Like, it feels like when he goes into that locker room, he goes into the locker room and just says the same thing he says in the press conferences. Oh, the other team played really well. You guys tried your best. We'll try again tomorrow. We'll try again at Dortmund and Spurs. I'm sure we'll get it next time. It's like,
let's go again, lads. That's all it is, man.
Yeah, it's like we'll have another go at it. But it's also like at the same time, it's like, bro, you need to. And this is what with the press conferences too do to me. It's like Tuchel took some, and I don't want to bring it back to Tuchel. I'm not saying, oh, bring back Tuchel and all this. I'm just saying there's a difference between how you win the fan base under bad form with Tuchel versus how Potter's doing it now. Whereas Tuchel, to a certain extent, Tuchel did take a lot of accountability up until the point where he didn't, and he was saying like, oh, I have the same players. You can't expect different results, right? With Potter, I just doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like there's any accountability with him. It just feels like It's that's the luck of the straw, or that's life. It's all that, and it's just no accountability, which I think just frustrates people even more.
You know what they say, man. That's the way. You know what I mean? It's a song. Yeah, man. Listen, at the end of the day, bro, is Potter leaving? I was expecting something at 11 a.m. It didn't happen. It's probably not going to happen until they find a suitable replacement, or they'll do something like Tuchel, where we don't even know it's his last game, and then the next day, randomly, at 11 a.m., you're probably going to be seeing someone, Graham Potter has left the club or something like that, and they've got already someone lined up within the next 4 to 5 days. That's probably what it will be.
That's the thing, though, that no one really lined up, and that's why Chelsea will probably.
But the thing was, Potter wasn't lined up though last time. They knew they had an idea on him.
Not really.
But you don't think?
Go on.
Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was gonna say he's not Potter's not really lined up or available, but he's playing for a team like Brighton, where it's very easy to pick off your Chelsea.
And a buyout clause.
And yeah, exactly. We have money.
I'm
Brighton
fairly
doesn't.
sure it was reported that they were looking at potential replacements for Tuchel before they sacked him. They hadn't planned to sack him as early as they did.
Yeah.
I only heard Potter and Poch. That's all I heard.
I don't want Poch.
People saying Poch. I don't.
By the way, I was going to say, people talking about mentality thing. This is the same guy who said trophies are for egos.
Yeah.
I said that, didn't he? Holy shit.
Yes. His interview would be any better than Potter's.
I get them if people have the mentality argument against Potter, and that's fair enough, but then you can't be asking for Poch when he literally said while managing Tottenham that trophies are for egos, and then proceeded to, when he went to PSG, have one of the worst ever title winning seasons at PSG.
Yeah. And he had one of the best teams on paper in the world.
He had arguably the best front three on paper in the world.
He had Messi.
And managed just about scraped a League One.
Yeah,
I think he can't manage egos. He probably can't manage egos that well. That's why.
And neither can Potter, to be honest. But we move, right?
We got egos like Neymar, though. We got people like Mason Mount, who's an average baller.
I know. That's the sad part.
To be fair, with Poch, I can understand the PSG situation is quite toxic. I don't know if you saw today's game, the director.
Oh my god! Yeah, Campos came onto the touchline and just screaming.
Bro, that shit is just toxic, man. And he's on the touchline ahead of the manager. That's a bit too toxic, isn't it? You know what I mean? You don't want that to be happening.
I'm wondering if Gaultier will get sacked. I just wanted to ask what.
No, he's sacked, bro. He's gone, bro.
I just wanted to...
Already?
Yeah,
bro. If they're sacking, this, I know this is completely off topic, but they are a lost cause of a club. I understand why Qatar are interested in United. They are a lost cause of a club. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they can't keep a consistent manager at all. That's horrible.
Also, to answer your question, Ahmed, I wouldn't take Gaultier just because his type of football is very much counter-attacking focused.
Yeah,
for the most
part. No, fair enough. Yeah, I don't want him either. But there's
that's the same reason why I don't want for the most part, why I don't want managers like Jose, Simeone, I see has been mentioned. I don't want him. If we're getting a manager, I want it to be similar in terms of what we've been going for in terms of progressive. I don't want to go backwards.
I don't want to go back to counter-attacking football. I really don't. I want to win too. You know what I mean?
I don't mind counter-attack.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But Marshall, just to end on Potter, though, I wanted to say I think it would help the fan base a lot if we actually knew what the targets were. And I'm mainly talking about next season because we know that he's going to be back
transfer targets?
This season. No, I mean his progress markers. Yeah, his goals, his progress markers. What are we expecting Potter to do next season? The sooner we find that out, if he is staying, the sooner we find that out, the easier it will be for the fan base to judge him and have a consistent standard.
I was gonna say, do you know what I would help as well? Just from this is more for me. I don't know about anyone else, but on that line, even if you're not necessarily going to give us a short-term list of targets, give us what your overall goal is. For example, in 2 years you want to win the league, because I can think if that's the goal, Potter's not your guy. If your goal is to win the league in 2 years or under, Potter is not your guy.
Yeah, because all we're told about this project is long-term project and young players. There's no actual what trophies do we want to win?
I was going to say, Oliver, the only thing I know about this project that they want to do is the age, as you said, and then the fact they want to have a global presence, like similar to what Red Bull do or what the
Yeah,
City
with the
football.
City group. Yeah.
Apart from that, I know fuck all about this project, and I'm still behind it because I personally, I've said on its streams and people will have heard it before, but I love the idea of the City Football Group and what they do. Not necessarily the illegal side of it, but like the actual the clubs. It's more the like scouting system and how they use clubs and the fact of like how they get players from like New York and send them to like Girona or the same with like Troyes or whether it be Palermo now that they've bought recently. Like I love that idea. Same with Red Bull. I love that kind of idea of having this whole network where it's all the same sort of playing style, the sort of same kind of scouting network, as I said, and I think it's a really good way of running a club and a entity effectively. But yeah, in terms of like on pitch stuff, I've got fuck all idea what
I 100%
exactly.
I 100% agree with Scott, and I actually despite the results, I really like the direction the club is heading in. I like the players we're obtaining. I like somewhat how they're playing. The results aren't there. The manager just doesn't seem to be the right fit. And we did say it at the beginning when he just got the job. Is this job too big for him? Is this project too big for him? And it just seems like it is, unfortunately.
And Marshall,
who knows?
On that point as well, I forgot to say this during your run through of the news, but there was a report that said that the owners are trying to protect him within this project. I think a big thing is that fans and the owners have to realise that this project isn't Graham Potter. This project is Vivell. It is Shields. It is Stewart. It's our directors. This project cannot be a manager project because then if we sack him, we just have to overhaul the squad and it's going to be a lot harder.
I was going to say, and the only way you can do that with a manager is if they are on the level of like a Pep Guardiola. That's the only way you can do it. And I'm
exactly, yeah.
I think Potter's a great guy, and I think that he will be a success in his career in terms of like to at least some point, kind of like what Poch is, right, where he has won stuff. But he's never going to be to that level, and that's the only way you can build a project around a manager. Like that's the only way, like what City did to begin with, like where they started getting the likes of Cheeky from Barca, they got the other guys, the scouts, and all that stuff. He's never going to be that. And I will just say as well on the Potter thing, on the timing, because I was thinking about this today, and it kind of clocked for me today of like, the reason why I'm on the thing of like the targets with Oliver is I was thinking about it today, and it's like with the timings is I can see us being a relative success with Potter if he gets past this season, like in the future. I think he will come good. My problem that I kind of clocked today is like, it's the timing of that. It's like, I can see that, but what if it takes like 3 years? Because I don't think Potter's the guy to win us trophies. I think he's the guy who could steady the ship for the club and be the guy for the next guy, if that makes sense. But realistically, if he's that guy, he needs to be doing that in a year, pretty much a year. Like you can't be waiting 3 years for him to do that and then wait like another year or two for the next guy to then win us a Premier League like consistently. That's 5 years. Like at that point, I'm just I can't wait that long. We've already waited that long. We're 6 years without a league title.
It'll be 11 years.
11 years.
And you know what, Scott, on your point too, like with the goals thing, it seems that the owners think it's very possible to win the Champions League, and it seems like that is like the end or break all. I think next year we're talking about if he doesn't do it this season, definitely next season. And I feel like, I don't mind losing. I don't mind drawing, but it's like there has to be some sort of progress in the results as well. But I mean, how do I word this? It's just like
it's the manner of which you play. It's the manner of which you lose, and like that's the thing. It's the, like
and even yesterday though. Dortmund. As much as people want to make fun of it, Potter did coach a win and all that, whatever. Fine. Yesterday, even if we're not trying to win every game and all this and not trying to get top 4 or out of Europe, surely you can get some type of result. a win against Southampton. This iteration of Southampton of all teams, by the way. Before I continue on, nearly 100 of you are watching this. Don't be a non-Casually FC casual, okay?
Yeah.
Smash that like button.
What is
It's
this?
absolutely
Chelsea
free.
conversion rate. What is this, man?
yeah. What is this? Oh my God!
If you don't
Speaking
hit
of
like
conversion rate,
What is this?
If
A
you don't
pot
like
of
button-
win rate? What is this, man?
I
Come
know.
on.
Oh, no.
Speaking of
If you're-
conversion rate, by the
if you
way,
If you don't hit
Go
the
ahead.
like button, you're in.
Yeah.
if you don't hit the like button, you are pottering. But
you know what? Hit the dislike button. It helps anyway. Just hit one of those buttons.
no, don't listen. Don't listen to Andrew. Do not listen to Andrew. Hit the like button, please. But anyways, let me Alhambra. Thank you so much for the 99 super
Yo,
chat.
Alhambra, man.
Vivel, shout out to you, my man. Vivel interview. The coach thinks from game to game. The sporting director from transfer window to window, and the technical director thinks 3 transfer windows ahead to give the club direction. And another super chat here from Alhambra. Thank you, very generous of you, my friend. $1.99 pound super chat. Vivel won't just sit there and watch Pulis fail.
True.
It's a Graham Pulis. That's the nickname.
Oh,
You mean Potter.
Yeah, I know. I figured
Yeah,
that out.
I do agree. Like there is. Like,
You can tell who's watched Pulis and who hasn't watched Pulis if you're thinking,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, he's just stealing it from Go AM.
Good Lord, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like
You know,
the 3-year plan, like that is like what Chelsea are trying to do. Though, like bringing in Potter, like he is like supposed to be future for the next 3 to 5 years, like hopefully, like in their plan. But like I do agree, like that's what we're trying to do, like next 3 transfers or whatever, and see what Potter can build and Chelsea can build and what trophies they can win, hopefully, and how well they do in the Premier League, and see if they can compete in the Premier League. Like obviously this season we're not competing for the Premier League, we're competing for 10th or something, but. Yeah, like
Competing, not get relegated.
well, we're just in the middle of nowhere. I look well in the table. We're like 11
We're
points behind.
We're 10 points away still from relegation.
I think it was 11.
I think it's 11 for relegation, 11 for top 4. We're literally in the middle of nowhere. I think so. I thought you were just gonna say something.
You turn the table upside down, we'd be in the same position.
Oh yeah, no. We're 11 points. We're 11 points from relegation. And
Yeah.
just to point something out to everyone, the team that's just below us are in better form than us. The team 3 places below us are in better form than us. The team below them are in better form than us. The team below them are in better form than us. The team below them are in better form than us. The team below them are in better form than us. And then the team below them is the relegation. That literally there's of all this, so we've got 10 teams below us, and at least half of them, possibly more, are in better form than us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was saying before, I'm all for a project, but you got to get some results, especially when the results are given to you as easily as last night. Any team would have gotten a result from that. Any team in that Premier League, even 10-man Wolves, like Andrew continually expresses, it's just, it's embarrassing. And it's one of those things that if you can't do it against that team, what confidence do you give me to believe that you're going to do it for another team? So it's not very much. After Surfer went potty out, he looks like a newly divorced dad. It's painful, but he knows it was his best for himself.
Oh my!
All right. Well,
and now imagining what he could have instead.
AM. But all right, let's go ahead and continue
That's
on to
funny.
the next topic that we're going to be discussing today. Obviously, like you guys know, this show we go over the whole week or the previous from the last Casually FC, Casually Chelsea show to this one is what we go over. We go over all bits of news that we missed. So let's touch on the Cucurella stuff. Why not? So if you guys don't already know, which I'm sure most of you do, Cucurella has been going through a lot. So right here we have Matt Law below. Right here, I get why Chelsea fans are disappointed with Cucurella, and I get that Chilwell is the better option currently, but I don't get booing of him. What's the point? Destroying him isn't going to do Chelsea any favors at all, let alone Cucurella. He wrote a piece about Mark Cucurella, whose biggest crime seems to have been his price tag. Form not great, but as detailed, there have been some strong mitigating circumstances. Remember a certain Jorginho who was booed at the start of his CFC career. Very true. Telegraph Sport understands Mark Cucurella was a victim of burglary shortly after his move to Chelsea. The left back was booed in the away section again after coming on last night.
Yeah, that was a Dortmund.
Yeah, that was horrible. Chelsea are prepared to support Cucurella. Chelsea, the club, or the fans? Chelsea are prepared to support Cucurella and give him time. They believe he will turn his form around, according to Matt Law. And you know what? I agree with that. And let's see. Weird. I didn't hear him get booed. Must have been a different section. All right.
Oh no,
come on,
Lewis.
Lewis, come on, Lewis.
Yeah, my cousin was at the game. He heard a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just unfortunate what's happening to Cucurella. We got another super chat I want to read real quick before we go on to this topic. Thank you, Alhambra. Again, very generous of you for a 99-pound super chat. I think the Vela interview confirms the manager is essential to his whole rebuild process there to bring football vision to life and win. Dispensable. It's very possible. It is very possible. And I would like to see it would be smart to have a project of players and to recruit players that aren't specifically tied to a certain manager's style of play, considering the history Chelsea have had, and we don't know how these owners are going to move forward. They don't have necessarily a history of sacking managers quick or pulling the trigger too quick. I mean, Tuchel was an extraordinary example, but not the common, not the norm. Thank you. But the whole Cucurella thing, look, I do feel bad for this guy. I know there's a good player in him. There is a good player in him. He on his day, he can be one of the best left backs in the Premier League, but he's been going through a lot. And yeah, I know he gets paid a fuck ton of money and he should get over it and all that stuff. But at the same extent, there's family involved. You don't know what happened, what kind of trauma it may have caused, what harm it may have happened in that night. You saw what happened to Aubameyang. The man got his jaw broken, and that it's just very scarring for any human being, any person, any athlete, any person to have to go through something like that, especially when your family is involved. Maybe that's affected him a lot, and maybe he's the type of player that really
had the break in as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Sterling right before the World Cup, or actually during the World Cup.
Yeah, during, yeah.
Scott, what were we going to say, brother?
I was just going to say I've got another example as well, and it's a bit more of an extreme, just because of what happens. But it still relates to the fact of like family and the fact that like getting the like quote getting over something is not quite as easy as people make it out to be. Yeah. Anyone that thinks that people should just get over something when it comes to family, would anyone like to know where Claude is currently?
Oh,
because he couldn't get over it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this idea that,
and as I said, it's slightly different because that was to do with death. But I hate this idea. I fucking despise this idea of getting over it. I hate it. When it comes to there's very few things in life that really piss me, like genuinely anger me to like that level. One of them is mental health, when people start like dismissing that. Like, that's a no-go for me. It was the same thing when the stuff about Morata came out after he left Chelsea Football Club. Like, regardless of what I thought was Morata as a player, I'm not touching that stuff because like we don't know what players go through. It's the same thing when stuff about Chilwell came out after the World Cup or after the Euros, where like the reason he wasn't playing was because mentally he wasn't there. Like he was having a lot of anxiety, a lot of stuff. It's the same reason when all the stuff about Christensen, about the fact of like,
thank you, yeah,
piss. I wasn't, because we don't know what was going on there. That could be anxiety, and I've seen people with anxiety what it does to them. It's the same thing with this. I'm not getting at someone because of the stuff they're going on in their personal life, especially when it relates to family and stuff like that. That's a line I don't cross. If you want to cross it, it just tells me what type of person you are.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, like, look, I get it. Everyone wants to compare these current set of players to, previous players in the past and how tough they were. And there was never excuses and all that stuff, but it hasn't necessarily led to the most healthy lifestyle. We see a lot of retired players go into addictive behaviors, and you hear all types of things happen afterwards, post careers and such. And even when you think about it, even someone like Ronaldo, who, you know, he may look tough and all that shit on the pitch, but after that Piers Morgan interview, we realized like there's so much shit going on in his life
my
behind
God.
the scenes. Yeah, it's just like, it's just a lot. And look, again, I know these players get paid a lot. I know
I
they
got
can
some
pay for the
breaking
best.
news, guys. I know.
Okay.
Sorry.
Go for it.
Apparently, it's looking like Tuchel might be going to PSG again. Apparently for round 2.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
Can you link me that tweet, please? Link it here in the chat.
It's,
Interesting.
I would
for
appreciate
Reece,
it.
you know the guy that leaks all the French stuff for us, for Reece Hawkins.
Right.
I'll send it in the Casually FC stream. Twitter.
Yes, please do.
It's on there now. Yeah.
Okay. I'll get that up in a minute.
you know what?
But
On that, I can actually see that, especially with Leonardo not being there.
so yeah, onto the mental health thing. Like, look, I don't think it's really a joke. I don't think we see how mentality is just as important as the physicality of players. And look, maybe in the past we didn't think it was an issue and never was, but we don't know that. We don't know that. These things aren't necessarily openly expressed. So it's just, why not? Why
Whoa.
not? Like, let's
I've got some news for you
separate.
guys as well. I've got some.
1 second, Ahmed. God damn it.
Hey, that's things are happening, bro. I'm
Just
sorry.
1 second. God damn it, bro. 1 second. Let me land, all right?
I just
But
sent it.
anyways,
I just sent it again. I'm sorry.
yeah. Go ahead. But yeah, so with these players and all that, like, let's actually remember that these are human beings. They're not just like the FIFA cards that you see in their video games and such. They have emotions, they have families, they go through ruts and ups and downs and stuff. They're human just like you and I. Yes, they get paid a lot. Yes, they can get the best therapist. Yes, all that happens, but they have a brain just like everyone else, and that still needs maintenance. So, look, Cucurella, you have my blessings. I hope you the best. I believe in Cucurella. I believe he will be a really good player for Chelsea. And it's not like he was always bad. He started off strong, and then it dwindled into what the form is now. He will step it up. I promise. Scott, you were going to say something, and then let me find Ahmed's tweet too.
I was just going to say on the like, oh, they get paid loads. So, like, don't give a fuck. Like, as you said, they're human. Like, if there's this idea of, oh, they've got nothing to worry about, they get paid the big bucks, then please explain to me why Gary Speed committed suicide. Please explain to me why there was a German international goalkeeper. If people don't know the story, I'd recommend going and read it. So Rene Adler, who used to be a German national team goalkeeper, when he was at Hamburg, did an interview about the depression that he suffered after a close friend of his, who was also a goalkeeper, committed suicide. It's nothing to take the piss about. Like, it doesn't matter that they get paid a lot of money. As Marshall said, they're human like the rest of us.
Scott, did you watch that documentary, bud? The documentary, sorry, it was like a 10-minute video that was Football Focus with Dan Walker on like the last day of Gary Speed. That shit, I can't lie to you, man. That was dark, bro. And he was talking about like how he spent his last day with him in the morning doing Football Focus. Didn't even notice anything wrong with Gary Speed. And like he was even chatting about the production stuff. And then later on that day, he went on to commit suicide, bro. Bro, it's crazy, man. People don't realize, man. Like, 1 minute these guys can be having, you can be having lunch together. The next minute, they might be offing themselves. It's not a nice feeling, bro. You don't know what's going on in people's heads.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just one of those things that, like, even like Scott alluded to, even when people were making fun of Christensen for the stuff, I always avoided it because, listen, I don't know what people is going through their heads. We don't know their lives. We don't know what their personalities are like outside of football. Like, there's so many factors that go into a player and what leads to the form on the pitch and all that. I just prefer not to speak. I just usually get on the manager that they get, or I try to, at least like with Mason, we said it earlier in the season, like, hey, just keep it simple. Don't overdo everything. Stop trying to be at the end of everything. But at the end of the day, like, I'm sure with Mason, I can sympathize that maybe there's a lot of stress going on with the whole contract situation, the whole contract negotiation, a whole different change of scenery, a whole different change in his career, where he might go, where his future might be. There is, and even like Chelsea last season when the whole sanction, all that stuff, all the different change and all what may be uncertainty in the future of the club and their jobs, that leads to a lot of shit on the pitch. You know what I mean? Like just that one moment that you can't focus because your mind's somewhere else. You never know. You never know with these players. But all right, let me share what Ahmed just sent me real quick. And by the way, nearly 90 of you watching. Smash that like button. Let's get that like up to 70 likes. Be sure to check out our memberships, please.
God.
Lovely tiers there. Anyways, what happened?
I was saying that's a 0.0. No, so it's a 0.5, I believe, 7 or 7.5 XG. That's not even good enough to score a goal, guys. Pattern up, man.
There we go. Let's get that XG up. That's XL, expected likes, all right? Let's get that like. Expected losses.
Good, you know? Expected likes. No, that's good.
It could be translated to expected losses, which we were at earlier in the
Oh
season.
no!
So let's not go there. Expected likes, people. Let's get them expected likes up.
Instead of EXP, it's expected ETB. So expected thumbs up, you know what I mean? Or ETE.
Okay, all right. Romulo Lukaku thumbs up in the chat. All right, everybody. Thumbs up, merchants. Let's go. But anyways, so PSG seriously considering Thomas Tuchel. Would Thomas Tuchel go back though? You think?
Wait, and then down. Then if you go a bit down, if you go a bit under, like Reece James, who is he's the main man for when it comes to transfers these days. I can't actually see him. Maybe it was early on for mine. I might have to send you like a little picture. Oh yeah, you just missed him. You just missed him. Just a bit more up. One more.
Few stonks?
Yeah, no, that's there.
Oh, here we go.
Him.
Oh my goodness.
I don't see why he doesn't go back to PSG. Like they probably offer him a good like salary, maybe like 12 million plus or something. I don't know, but like you got PSG, you got like Messi, you got Messi, you got Neymar, maybe still if they keep him. You got Mbappe, you got like a great funding of players, but the reason they did sack him last time though was because they didn't get along. So I don't see why they'd actually go from again.
As Scott said, it was because of the relationship with Leonardo, but he's not there now. It's Campos.
Oh, okay. Then it's
and the thing is, as we saw this summer as well, Tuchel doesn't like to get involved with the transfers, so he can leave that to Campos, and hopefully they can do magic together for their sakes.
Yeah, okay then. Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like, okay then, if it's different.
Oh yeah, this is the next thing I was gonna check. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Chris.
Oh no, yeah, like if it's different, then yeah, okay, they might go for him again because like Tuchel is like the closest like ever manager to like getting to a Champions League trophy. Like they got him to a final where they should have won. They really should have won that final. If you remember watching it, like to me, PSG was the better team.
I say if they didn't bottle their chances, then they.
Yeah. They had more better chances, for sure in that game. So Tuchel, and we know what Tuchel is like in knockout competition. He's very good, and he makes the system what's very hard to break as well. So he's a very good manager to get. So I don't see why they wouldn't actually then.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's an added enticement now because he's actually done it, and from a logical standpoint, Chelsea, you could argue at that time, it's a worse squad than PSG.
Oh, way worse.
In terms of the individual quality, so
an argument is definitely worse.
We had Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, and Timo Werner as our main front three, and they have Mbappe, Messi, and probably Neymar. If not, they get someone else. We have a better midfield than them, probably. Yeah, defense. We might have a better defense, but they definitely have a better team, and their attack is way clear of Chelsea.
Of course. So logic would dictate if Tuchel can do it with our squad, then surely he'll be able to do it with a PSG squad that was better than the one he had when he had a go in 2020. He went to the final.
Timo's gone now, so I can
2019,
say what
right?
No, I think it was 2020. It was a behind closed doors game because of COVID with Bayern.
I don't remember. Felt like it was okay. It doesn't matter, but. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be weird seeing Tuchel on another team that's not Chelsea. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now after he won us the Champions League,
better get used to it.
I can't lie. We've seen it before with Jose and Conte and Ancelotti.
You get used to it.
Yeah, I got used to it.
Yeah, we're numb to this now.
I'm not that's the bad thing. Is I saw Jose go and manage United and Tottenham.
But he only won a Europa there, and like, what's it called? Was the other cup they won? Was it FA Cup they won there? Or was it? Yeah, it was FA Cup that he won. It was a European FA
League
Cup. So, or League Cup, my bad.
Yeah.
Listen, man. So it didn't affect me that much. You know what I mean? What's that? Good.
Still weird.
Here's what it is. This will be interesting to see what happens, especially since he's
Did
going
you
to
get
be
my
going
other
back
tweet
to
there? The other one's actually that one's more spicy than this one, to be honest. But I think, isn't it?
well, actually, is it related to this topic?
Actually, it's not related to this topic, but it's bigger than it's related to the previous topic.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this one too. How do you guys feel about this?
Don't understand this at all.
Apparently, it's not even like a day. It's not even a planned day off. They haven't given them a day off.
They deserve it, man. They deserve
No,
it.
no,
I heard,
they haven't given
it was
them.
planned.
No, today was planned, but not tomorrow. If you read Gate,
Okay. Yeah,
so
I don't
if you go to
understand
Nathan
that.
Gislin's tweet, he says it a bit better than how Pies has said it, because Pies has reworded it essentially.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up in my.
Yeah,
end here.
this just doesn't make any sense because you went and rested all of those players for Southampton, and I know we should have beaten Southampton without them, but you went and rested all of them, and now you're giving them 2 days off in a row. Like
They
where's
haven't
the
said
logic
he's given
behind
it
that?
though.
This can't be rest. I was going to say
can't.
this cannot be rest.
Yeah.
If the only reason they're not training is because they're having crisis talks. That's the only reason
Something's
they're
happening.
not
That's what I'm
training.
saying to you. Yeah.
Well,
Nothing's happening
if
to
Potter's not
Marcel.
getting sacked, then
Yeah,
I
that's
welcome that. I welcome crisis talks between them.
Maybe they're going to a meditation circle and telling each other how they feel.
Kumbaya.
Yeah, he said.
Counselor, yeah.
Yeah, because
They're
if
only
you look at
accept-
his thing, he's. Yeah,
the only acceptable
Scott.
reason for them to be not training today and tomorrow is for crisis talks. That's the only acceptable reason for them
That's what
not
I'm
be
saying
training.
to you, yeah. There must be either crisis talks or is actually getting the sack. It can only be one of those two, bro.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
because like
because they. I was going to
'cause,
say,
like-
well, because go on, Ahmed, go on. Sorry.
thank you, Chris. You've let me speak now. At last, no, I'm just joking. No, but what I was just trying to say, obviously, they had their day off today. If you're not having any conversations, if you're having another day off tomorrow and you're not coming in, something's happening. It's either one of them is getting there's like a chatter going on between him, maybe the head technical guys, maybe he's bringing in Thiago Silva or like some other leadership of the actual players to speak.
But he already did this.
They already had a crisis. Yeah, they did.
So if they've had the crisis meeting already, as we know, then it can only mean one thing tomorrow. It can only mean one thing
Wasn't it
tomorrow.
before the World Cup?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this can only mean one thing, basically.
Yeah.
Well, potentially. It could
Maybe.
mean multiple things, but the only positive thing it could mean is
Oh, who
He
brings
gets
Ziad into this chat, man?
I can't lie. If they like if all this is to just give them days off, my
It can't
head
be, man.
my head will be
Not,
in the
man.
sun. That'll be how hot my head will be. I'll be on Mars. I'll be on the
Yeah.
sun
2 days off for what? Exactly. 2 days off
before,
for giving them
before
2
we
days
play
off.
our biggest rivals. Are you okay?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying to you, man. It can't be that, bro. It can't just
Yeah,
be.
it's just
Yeah,
less
no,
reason to expect a win. We're not training.
For me, if you're not training tomorrow, there has to be a reason for you to not train tomorrow. When you can't just be saying, let's give them the day off. It can't be that, man. It wouldn't even make sense. You've just given them Sunday off.
You think it's potentially another tactic to try to get their heads back together?
Before
No.
that, Marshall, I just want to say there's 108 people here. Thank you very
Over
much.
100.
Could you smash the like button if you like us? And if you want to subscribe, please do. And there's a join function as well. It's 4 different levels, cheapest being 99p. Please do that. We're on the road to 2K, so let's go.
Big up to you guys that are watching. Like Andrew said, smash that like button. Do what Romelu Lukaku would want you to do. Just
Do more than Kai
thumbs up.
Havertz has done since he shifted us in the crowd. Let's do this.
Be like Lukaku and miss penalties.
Thumbs up, merchants. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know what to make of this. Like, I agree with you guys. It's no reason why they should be having a day off. If anything,
The
they
issue
should
is
be
this,
working.
right? If it is
Go ahead.
nothing, and they're giving him 2 days off, he's just going to get asked about this later in the week. Why are we
Or
giving 2
not.
days off?
Or
No,
not.
he will.
Because
Oh,
the
no,
media.
He will get
No,
asked.
I can't lie. He will. Have you seen the questions they were asking after the last game? What was the question?
They were asking real
What was it? What do you think of Chelsea fans calling you their worst ever manager or whatever it was, bro?
Yeah, wow, they were actually asking tough questions.
I'll say I don't know what the hell's got into the journalists, but bro,
Finally got
when I
set
heard they
rules.
asked that question, I was like, what?
I welcome it. They need to ask some relevant stuff for
This
once.
is why, for me, you don't release this information unless you know there's something else happening, bro. You don't say,
Can I just say, Ahmed, this is the type of information you release, right? If we batter like Spurs like 4-0 and you release this to take the
that's
piss,
what I'm saying to you. It doesn't make.
Like,
That's why.
or,
Scott, this is why for
Yeah.
me, yeah. If you're not bringing in the players, and if you read the tweet as it is, he's not saying it's a day off. We don't know what it's for. It can only be one of two things at the end of the day. If you don't bring in the players, usually,
that's it.
because they did that for Tuchel as well.
Yeah, you do it after the win to like take the piss, or it's because he's getting sacked. That's
Yes,
literally that's the
that's
only
what I'm
reason you
saying to
release
you.
this. If it's neither of those two reasons, why the fuck is this getting released?
That's what I'm saying to you. And for me, yeah, if you remember when Tuchel got sacked, their players weren't there apparently. They had
Yeah, they weren't there. Yeah. They weren't
Yeah,
there.
so this is why for me it's making
I was going to say, I'm
sense.
pretty sure it was over Zoom, wasn't it? Or was that proven
No,
to be
That's a
wrong?
something
lie.
else.
He was in his
That was
office. He was
something
actually in his office
Oh,
when that happened. Yo, that would be wild. Yo, if he gets sacked, on
I'm not
Tuchel-
sending you any links, Ziad.
Listen, Ziad, yeah, I'm Ziyech's number one hater. That's the reason why I have that as a joke. Okay, it's
I'll
not
send
serious.
I'll send you a link to Shut Up. That's what I'll send you. Yeah? Shut Up Town.
Maybe you and Marshall should have like a nice little show.
Oh
about
my god!
why
the
Ziyech
ZX
number one.
Appreciation Society.
Oh,
Just start
Listen,
putting up Ziyech
listen.
highlight reels.
listen. Hey, first of all, hold
Oh,
on. Let me
God.
make myself
Are we
big
really
screen
gonna
here.
do this?
First of all, no.
Are we really gonna
We're not
do
gonna
this?
do anything. We're not gonna do anything. We're not gonna do anything. I just suck at how to do this. All right, listen. First of all,
fuck it now.
you guys
Please.
turned me into this, okay? All of you fucking fans were slandering Ziyech over and over. I didn't even like Ziyech that much, okay? But you guys kept
Disgusting.
slandering him,
Disgust me.
unjustifiably
Marshall.
going after him.
Oh, that's better. That's much better.
Oh, I forgot that you've also got access to like the.
You
Yeah.
disgust me, Marshall.
I forgot too, to be honest, Scott. I was shocked. I was like, I got silenced on my own channel. What the? What is this?
That's what, because I was looking at my TV for a sec. I wasn't paying attention, so I thought I was having issues with my internet. I just heard you stop talking. I was like, what?
Yes. Listen, man.
You guys turned me into this,
Listen,
and Ahmed,
yeah.
you weren't part of it.
Marshall,
but
you disgust me, mate. You disgust me.
this-
talking
this-
about it
I
like that.
I was turned into
You
this.
have
All
failed
right.
me. You have failed in your mission, buddy. You have
Are
failed
Listen,
in
you,
your
man.
mission.
are you Graham
And
Potter
now
all
I'm a
of sudden?
Ziyech fan, apparently.
Are you
So much
Graham
defending.
Potter? Are you Graham Potter all of a sudden not taking ownership? You know, I guess some people don't like me, or I'm not the problem.
If you got. Oh my days!
that's good.
Listen,
That's good.
if people want the receipts, you can look back at our previous streams when we were occasional filter football, and you can see the transformation. I'll give people a link to where it all started. You can see the transformation of becoming a Ziyech stan when I
Good
was nowhere
gosh.
near one.
Oh,
But let's
look
go
at
ahead.
Ziyech.
Sounds horrible,
You got
man.
another
Oh,
cross today, guys. You see those crosses
Let's go
Ziyech
ahead.
does, yeah?
Let's
If
go
someone
ahead and
put their
continue
hand
the
to it,
show.
it might be a goal.
Ahmed, you need to be quiet. Let's continue the show.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about Nkunku and let's talk about Felix and what's going on with these positions right here. Let's go into the first tweet right here. No, that's the wrong tweet. All right, hold on. We were just talking about that. Yeah, I got you. We're professionals here, all right? And here we go. This guy. All right. Anyways, Todd Bowley. So earlier in the week, we had Todd Bowley is already thinking about building the future team around Joao Felix. Jorge Mendes will help parties agree transfer in June. A figure of 100 million euros could be sufficient, despite Atletico asking for more. This is coming from Matthew Moreto, I guess, is a Spanish journalist. Continue here. Jacobs Ben. Reported by
Ben Jacobs.
Well, reported by Ben Jacobs. I always read it backwards. Thank you. This is just banter FC today. Listen, if you don't laugh, you cry as a Chelsea fan right now. So, anyways, Chelsea would love Joao Felix with a post-loan plan. Was already discussed with Atletico Madrid when the deal was done. This has given Chelsea confidence that they can sign Felix if all goes well. We continue on. Here, Chelsea feels there's a serious possibility to reach an agreement with Atletico for less than 105 million to 115 million pounds. Should Joao Felix tell Atletico he wants to stay at Chelsea? Positive feelings at the moment, and this is coming from Fabrizio Romano. We continue on. Last tweet right here. Chelsea see Christopher Nkunku to play behind the striker. They're also very happy with Joao Felix. Internally, they know they need a traditional number 9. So, yeah, and that was especially expressed more so after the Dortmund game, where ex-Chelsea player, I forgot the player's name, went up to the... Yes.
Mario
Yep, he went up to the board, and before he could even finish the sentence, the board
he went, guys. Reportedly, he went, guys, and they went, yes, we know.
Love it, but
I was gonna say, Nkunku goes behind the striker, of course, and we get Joao Felix. Like that's surely like Mason Mount and Kai Havertz out the door.
100%.
It's gotta be.
It would have to be, yeah.
They've replaced. Like, where does Mason Mount play? DM? Like, I have no idea. No, I have no idea where he's got to play. So if this all happens, yeah, that's all good, man.
No, I'll tell you where he's going to play, actually, Chris. In Liverpool's midfield.
Or yeah. Anywhere. Like Liverpool, maybe Man United, Italy enough to buy him.
Anywhere other than SW6, innit?
I'll tell you what about Mount. I love seeing Don Hussam getting rattled over Chelsea fans going into his comments and saying, "Yeah, you want to buy this guy," you know?
Who said that? And that worked from him. Is that you, Marshall?
No, that was Andrew. Apparently, work from home FC.
I feel for Joao Felix for the minute, by the way, in terms of his situation. He's either got to stay at this club that has a manager that uses him correctly, but is just fucking awful, or he's got to go to a club that's doing better, but with a manager that's going to play him just in the worst way possible, not at all how he wants. Like, he's literally stuck between a rock and a hard place at the moment.
Pick your poison.
Exactly. Do you want to play in your right position and play in a way that's going to benefit you, or do you want to play for a better manager, but in a system that's going to be asked to do a lot less than what you want to be doing?
Boys, I'm going to shoot off. I've got another stream to jump on, but yeah, subscribe, like the video, help us out. We're approaching 2K subs, so let's do this. But like the video, please, and share it. I'll speak to you boys during the week.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
See you later.
Yep. I mean, with the number 9 talks, we have a lot of people are saying Osimhen. He's in discussion. Vlahovic.
He might come.
And who's the other one?
Tony.
Ivan Toney is apparently another one in discussion. I mean, how do you sort out? Because at first I thought we were just gonna throw Nkunku as a striker role, and just figure it out from there.
I'm quite glad we're not. I will say that much. Like, he is better as a 10, but it's nice. Like, we're gonna have options there. For me, the options for those three very much depend on Tony's betting thing. If I think I said this before. I don't know if I said this on one of the streams on Casually or on one of those streams or whatever. But if his ban or if his repercussions for what happened is either a big fine or anything under about 6 months ban, 6 months or under, buy him yesterday. If it's a year, it's a bit debatable. Anything over a year, don't touch with a barge pole. But yeah, if all it is like a huge fine, pay it for him. Whatever you have to, get Tony to this football club.
Agreed.
Oh,
I'll be fair.
I want Osimhen, innit? You know what I mean? I really want Osimhen if you can get.
He ain't coming. We ain't spending 140 million.
150 mil.
You would have. But the thing is, would we not have to wait another season for Osimhen, right? Because he's got 2 years left.
Man United are buying him. I guarantee you, when Man United get the new owners,
it's De Laurentiis. No one's buying him. This isn't.
And they're winning the league as well.
I have a strong. I know. No. Like next season, I'm talking about. Like when Man United get their new owners and everything, they'll probably look at him because they do need a striker, and they probably look at him.
The thing with United is, they have a lot more. While they obviously would want to focus on transfers, they have pressing issues that they actually have to solve in terms of structural issues. Not structure in terms of club structure, as in the stadium and then where they're actually going to train. problem because that shit is because if you're the owners, you're probably going to be spending money on that first before you even bring in players.
They got to put money into just about everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. So, whereas with us, our stadium and our stuff, well, our stadium is basically been renovated. It's just about making it bigger. And and our other place, which I just forgot, and our Cobham is already state of the art. So, there's a reason why you can probably put more money onto players when it comes to us at the very least.
Yeah, but he's not going anywhere this summer. Osimhen's not going.
So the thing with Vlahovic, hasn't Vlahovic been getting a lot of injuries as well this season? If I'm not mistaken,
I don't know.
He's been in and out of the squad. He's been in and out of the squad this season. That's why.
Oliver.
The thing about Vlahovic is the reason I would take him is because of how cheap he would be. Like
he's a lot more complete as well. I would say complete.
Yeah, and the fact is like the one thing I will say is we've literally seen with multiple players that just because they are playing shit for Juventus does not mean anything. We have a player like that in our squad at the moment. I'm not going to say that he is. I'm not going to say he is the most complete player or he's world class or anything like that. But he is showing now that he is so much better than what he showed at Juventus. Same with Kulusevski
and Bentancur as well.
Same with Bentancur. Like, so yeah, I have faith that he would come here and do well, depending on the manager. But he's
got a physicality for it too.
I agree. But yeah, the thing is with this ownership group is I feel confident whatever striker they decide to get in because I know they will have done their research on him.
I mean, has there really been a signing that this ownership has made? Well,
let's say
January. Yeah, in January. Has it really been a January signing this ownership has made under the guidance of Vivell and the new staff that has really disappointed us? I mean, you could probably say Mudryk, but Mudryk has a very valid excuse.
I was going to say, Mudryk would be my answer in terms of he's underwhelmed what I've seen so far, but it's early. Like, of all the signings they've made, I would say that most of them look to be an improvement on what we had. Like, Mudryk is the only one so far that looks to be off the pace, but at the same time, like you said, you can make excuses around that. So,
I'm going to pull up Vlahovic's...
I guess we signed a right back we ain't exactly played. Might be the most underwhelming one.
Pulling up Vlahovic's injury history right now.
Well, how much reckon he is realistically? Like 60 million?
No,
no.
Well, Juve would probably take him for a considerable amount of money. I don't think they're in a position to ask for too much.
Why don't we give him Conor Gallagher just straight swap then?
Gallagher doesn't want to leave, man. That's the problem.
No, like come on, we're starting a dream, man. You're signing for Juventus, man. The Juventus win Serie A 10 times in a row. Look at that.
So yeah, here it is with Vlahovic. So that's 73 days and 11 games missed this season.
Wait, how many days missed?
73.
Oh, this season.
Yeah, look at the abductor and then the top one.
That's like over 2 months.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I would note that
I would take Ivan Toney though. That's my go-to because I don't think he ever gets injured, and he's definitely proven. Like he's killing it again this season for me.
Sorry to interrupt, Chris. What is what is the other? Oh, I know what an abductor is, right? What's the other one?
I'll have a quick look.
I don't know.
Pubalgia?
That sounds like some type of foreign disease, bro.
No, I think that's something to do. I think it's something to do with his back.
It's a chronic groin lesion.
Oh.
He's having groin injuries, basically.
Sounds horrible.
Because he was playing through it in the World Cup, by the way. I actually remember.
Sounds nasty.
What happened in the World Cup, Ahmed?
Because he was playing through a groin injury at the World Cup.
Ah, okay. Well, that explains his World Cup performance. It was a little underwhelming. I know there's a good player in this guy.
He was barely playing.
What happened?
I said he was barely playing, or basically coming off the bench, I think, most games.
Yeah,
I mean, Mitrovic, for the most part, was the leader.
Yeah, because he was suffering with that injury at the time.
But I think for next show, I'm probably going to do some research on Ivan. Oh, I know Ivan Toney's quality. I just don't know if he's Chelsea quality. I'm sure.
Oh, no, he's him. He is him. In the words of Andrey Onana, or not Amadou Onana, sorry, he is him. To paraphrase.
I just I want to see it myself. But no, I'm sure you guys.
Go do your homework.
Interest. I just want to do my homework. I also want to see Osimhen because people have been talking about Osimhen a lot, and I don't know who this kid is, to be honest with you.
Yo, have you heard the United news?
What?
United.
About the Saudi takeover?
Oh, it might not even happen, to be honest. Apparently now.
I don't know.
Apparently, you know the Elliott management, the guys that had AC Milan, before the new owners. They apparently had wait. They had discussions with Manchester United, the Glazers, and they're
Yeah.
prepared to back them financially to help them do what they need to do for the club. So the Glazers will basically remain as owners.
Oh, we all need to go and leave. We all need to go and leave good reviews.
Oh my
Leave
god.
good reviews so the Rain Group pick them.
Oh, that's hilarious. But yeah, the striker situation is going to be interesting. You reckon both players are going to be happy to have to rotate the number 10 role?
It depends how you play it, because
The
like
thing is, Madueke is
you play
also
on the
young.
left wing,
Look at
technically,
Madueke.
right?
Look at Madueke and Mudryk, though. They're quite young players. You're
Mm-hmm.
obviously not going to be expecting them to play every single game week in,
Exactly.
week out, and they might not be able to perform to that level. And you might want to use them as like bring them on with 30 minutes left or 25 minutes left to give them more game time to settle into a league. So you can maybe have a Felix on the left, or you can play like them as cams essentially as Roman tens.
I was going to say,
I
that's the thing,
go on.
You might be able to play it in a way where it's like the positioning might look a bit weird. Like Ahmed said, like initially it might look like, say, a 4-2-3-1, and you have Felix in the middle and Nkunku on the left. But in attack, it's a lot more flexible and fluid, where like they start moving a bit more centralized, and you have maybe Chilwell on the left as the left back, and he's pushed up. So you almost in attack play like a 3-2-5 maybe, or whatever it is. Like that, you can find ways to do it. Maybe you play, as he's mentioned, like a 4-2-2 maybe, or something like that. I think they're going to find ways that they can do it. I think both can work. Especially what makes it better, especially from an Nkunku's point of view, is he is used to playing in like flexible, like fluid systems. Like if you look, and when he's played under Nagelsmann especially, and what he's done, like when he's played under like Tedesco and Marco Rose. Now, like he's used to playing in like systems where it's a lot more fluid. Like it's not so rigid in terms of how they attack. It's more fluid. Like look at what Nagelsmann's playing at Bayern at the moment. It's effectively like they are lining up as like a 3-2-5 every game. Like it's a bit mad.
It'll be interesting to see it for sure. But yeah, I mean, you guys bring up good points. Both of these players have the ability to go towards the left as well. Not preferably, but I mean, I would like to see at some point to see what Joao Felix can do on the left. I would at one point this season like to see not this season, next season, what Nkunku can do on the left. But at the end of the day, I think we can figure it out. And Ahmed brings up another good point. Madueke and Mudryk are young players. They shouldn't be expected to play every single game. They should be able to perform and step up and earn their spot as well. Just because they came in at a very big hype or a very large price doesn't mean that they should automatically be put into the team.
I was going to say.
Go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, like, something really quick. Like, Sterling as well. We still have Sterling, so like,
We do.
He's definitely going to be starting a lot of games as well. Like next
maybe that'll be more of a right-sided option.
I think he will be playing right-sided.
I was speaking of which, I thought he was very good when he came on in the last game.
Yeah, he was. He gave that pass to Havertz, didn't he, where he should have opened his body and shot.
But yeah, with the thing I was going to say as well, and I know we joked about this a little bit like earlier, but like, and I am taking this a little bit here, but it is also like a serious note as well. It's like if we have these two guys as our 10s, we never have to see Mount there again, or should never have to see Mount there again. Like it basically limits how much time he has to play there, which is a positive.
100%.
It also means that he has to raise his game if he is going to stay, if he does sign a new contract. Otherwise, he's going to look even more out of his depth than he currently looks with Felix. Or what it does for me, or what it hopefully what it might do, fingers crossed, is it might mean that they have less need for him, so they are more open to selling him.
He's a very, like I was going to say, Mason Mount is a very, very replaceable guy. Like he isn't nothing special. He can be a good player. Like I thought he had a lot of potential when he won the Champions League. He's looking really good there, but he isn't like that guy, like main guy. He's just a guy in the squad what can do like something maybe either on the bench or if he's good enough to start. But he isn't like a main guy or nothing. So he's definitely replaceable, and I think he's seen that. That's why he isn't signing the contract. Like he thinks he maybe on 200k, but the club are seeing like, look, we can have like Joao Felix on 200k a week or something, and Nkunku's gonna be like on what, like 200k a week or less or something. So they're better attackers than Mason Mount. Like all of these attackers, like even Mudryk, better
Marquee, you got
attacker.
it.
Madueke, better
Yeah,
attacker.
yeah.
What?
Yeah. So wait, this
this
comment
is
real quick
crazy.
though. If Potter gets sacked, what stories do you think we're gonna hear behind the scenes? Probably like Potter forced us to bake macaroni art or some shit, like some type of arts and crafty stuff.
Well,
Apparently,
I
that,
reckon-
so
What?
Go ahead,
Ahmed.
Ahmed.
what?
Ahmed, you can read it.
I was
Oh,
nah. What?
That's what I'm saying to you, bro. Something must be happening, bro. Because if they've given them even Monday off, so I don't know, bro. Unless the club is doing something joke for me, or I'm just reading too much into it. Yo, if you're giving them Monday off,
I think you're reading too much into it.
Maybe, then
I
maybe.
personally think it might just be a different strategy to see
You
what
can't
could
just
work.
but 2 days off, bro. That's taking the piss after you've lost that many games in a row. Like you can't be
They
giving
deserve
them-
it. They deserve it.
bro. You can't give
Hard
them 2 days
earned.
off, man.
Like, they've been going
Maybe-
through a lot.
No, man, shut up, man. No, it's not. For me,
I
maybe
mean,
it doesn't make sense to me. And like the Sam 365 guy, the one that links the lineups,
Mhm.
has got a side eye emoji as well. So there must be something happening because he's even given some side eye emoji. So I don't know unless he's been told something.
I mean, I could see it. I am of the belief that it's a nothing, and it's just Potter possibly saying like, look, I want these players to detach themselves from Chelsea right now because we need them to come back with fresh minds. This is subpar performances.
Marshall, the problem with that though is didn't we do this? We went to the army base for the
Yes.
team building.
We had 2 weeks of team building, Marshall.
Exactly,
sorry,
yeah.
man. No FA Cup, no Carabao Cup, remember? So to me, the reason maybe
I just remembered that.
Yeah, and like,
Sorry, when was this? What?
Oh,
Yeah,
this
they
is
went
during
to
the
the
cup
Cup.
break. During the
You
cup
didn't see
break.
it.
yeah. Remember
But
the
that
semi-
wasn't-
when there was a
But
semi.
that wasn't all the players though. This
Yeah,
is
it
now
was. The majority
all
of them were there. What are you talking about, Marshall?
Yeah, there's probably a few.
majority of them were in the
Enzo-
World Cup.
No,
Yeah.
this was no. This was
Oh no,
just
yeah,
the-
no, this wasn't the World Cup. No, it wasn't.
This
No.
is Carabao Cup semi-final and the
Yeah.
FA Cup fifth final.
Oh! I thought you guys said during the World Cup. I forgot when it was.
Yeah, so this has just
no.
been recently. It's
Yeah,
only
this
like
is the whole squad.
Yes, the whole squad. Even Enzo was there. Well, maybe for like the last 2 days. Maybe
And just think, what the fuck's happening? We're getting thrown into an army.
but that's what I'm saying to you. For me,
Yeah,
it
that's
just-
mad though. Like those Chelsea players just got thrown around in the army because obviously, like the people in the army are
Because for
mentally
me,
way
it doesn't
stronger
make
than
sense.
football
It
players.
doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, you're giving them 2 days off, like, and you've had that
After a
many
loss
weeks with them
to a
together.
team, after a loss to a team that's bottom of the table, and the weekend before you play your biggest rivals when you're off form. What the fuck is going on?
This is for me. This is for me.
Maybe this is one of the stories that will come out when he gets sacked.
That's what I'm saying to
Maybe.
you, bro. Because like, it doesn't for me make sense to be giving them 2 days off. I just don't understand.
No.
Well, speaking
That's
of
what I'm
number
saying
10s
to
and
me. This is why for
attackers-
me. This is for me why it feels like this is a bit dodgy. That's why for me maybe it's just dodgy to be giving them 2 days. If it actually turns out they're giving them 2 days off and it's not sacked, that's a big man. That's unserious.
Maybe they're doing.
The club is even not serious, man. The club is not serious if they give these man 2 days off, man. After that amount
Maybe
of
their
time
2
they've had
days
off.
is not really 2 days off. Like it's gonna be like next time it's gonna be military training. They're gonna be actually doing military training drills and like actually like falling through the mud, move your maggots. Like
I mean, to
Graham
be
Potter, the
fair,
drill
that did
sergeant.
happen to me when I used to play football. They got a day off, and the next time there actually was a military drill sergeant that made us do military drills, and it was horrible. It was after, and it wasn't even after a
wanna say
loss. It was
something now.
after a very shitty result that we did win, but we were supposed to not concede. I think we conceded the clean sheet, and then we had a day off, and then the next day just put through the rigor and the mud for just playing so crap. But
Standards.
Bro,
Yeah.
I used to play. I play. I used to. I play
And my coach
Saturday.
is a Liverpool fan, by the way.
I play
Oh,
Saturday.
no.
Listen, I play Saturday football, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that was the result we got, yeah, I know, like the weekday
I would have been
game
dead.
is gonna be Monday morning, Monday after work.
It was
Straight after work
peak.
on Monday.
Oh
No,
my
man.
days.
This is
Well,
what I'm saying.
on the topic of attackers and number 10s, let's go ahead and talk about this one. Let's
Oh,
entertain
shit.
it. Let's
He's
see
not
what's
even a
gonna
10
happen.
Sometimes he's a winger.
He
Hey, Neymar.
can be a 10. He's an
He plays
attacker
for the 10
though.
for Brazil.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Attacker though.
and he played as a 10 for PSG a lot
For
last season.
Tuchel.
Mhm,
And for Tuchel as
mhm.
well, actually. Yeah.
Oh, that's fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah.
Oh,
I just-
well,
I
let's
just
see what
like
happens.
Neymar.
Neymar just has to look at Chelsea's results and he might just run because why would he honestly want to join us?
Well, let's talk about it. Todd Bowley and Nazar Al-Khelaifi. I think I got it.
Nizar,
Al-Khalifi.
let me
Me-
tell you how you say yeah. Oh, it's Al Khalifi.
Yeah, he was pretty much spot on.
Nazar Al-Khelaifi. I
Yeah,
almost
Khalifi,
had it.
Khalifi.
I almost had it. There,
It's like you say, like it's very similar Arabic and Spanish anyway. So you can probably just use it with Spanish.
there you go.
Boom.
It's a little bit of Latin right there.
That's
Met
what I'm
over
saying.
Neymar. Sources said Al-Khalifi and Bowley met in a luxury hotel in the Arc de Triomphe. Okay, whatever.
Arc de
For lunch. In addition to Neymar discussing failed transfer of Ziyech in the Super League. Triumph.
No,
Croissant.
like the M, like you just say triumph. You don't. The H E is like
Triumph.
silent. The H E is silent. Just say there's a P. No, the
Triumph.
H E is silent. The H E is silent. That's triumph. Triumph.
Bro, it's
That's
like,
it.
bro,
Triumph.
what are we, Duolingo? What the fuck is what's going on?
But anyways, yeah, I mean, I could see this. I could see this happening because of the management we have now. Our Bowley and Igbali aren't messing around. If they really wanted Neymar, they could actually go for him. Like, it's just not mess around. Like, they said they wanted to do another big signing that they're not done yet. All this stuff. They have the money apparently, and they know how to, I guess, pay it in installments and all that stuff. They know how to manage money. Okay, so it could be possible, but it could be possible that the overarching meeting was really about mending the bridges that they could have possibly burnt over the whole Ziyech transfer, because that didn't go well. And then there is a Super League as well, which was brought up earlier in the week. We didn't really talk about it.
Marshall,
Yeah.
I don't think the Super League's particularly relevant because the owners have to sign an agreement that they will not join a breakaway. It's in the Premier League handbook. All the owners have signed it.
They did that after the Super League nonsense.
If you join a breakaway league, you face expulsion or whatever.
I was gonna say, does Todd Bowley and Egbali want to sign every attacker, every Navy player? Because we're trying to sell Joao Felix for 100 million. We're gonna try sell Neymar as well. We're getting Nkunku. We got.
You mean buy?
Pardon?
Yeah, you mean buy.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, you got Mudryk and Maddie Wakey. Yeah, you still got and Sterling. How many attackers are we gonna try to get? Are we just trying to get everyone at this point? Because we surely can't get Felix and Neymar together. There's no way.
There's a chance this isn't true.
No, yeah,
As with everything.
Yeah, I don't think we'll go get him, to be honest. But
Think Mbappe then.
yeah, maybe 2 years. If we got our shit together, and when Mbappe's contract's out, we might look at Mbappe, and we might have a different manager, or Potter's actually somehow killing it.
I don't know. Do you think? Do any of you guys think this has any legs at all?
We'll see in the summer, mate. We'll see in the summer if that's true. Or not,
It's a weird one as well in terms of because I can see the pros and cons for it. Because for example, considering how much our left hand side at the moment when Mudryk plays already gets exposed from a defensive standpoint because of how lackadaisical Mudryk is in terms of tracking back, Neymar would be so much worse. He'd be so much. So I can see from an on-pitch perspective why it would not be good, but then I also do think, fuck it, it's Neymar.
Yeah, true. I think he'd be toxic for the team, but at the same time, I mean, actually, I don't think he'd be toxic anymore. I feel like Neymar's calmed down considerably since his younger days. If we were talking about really young Neymar, then I would say he's toxic. But I feel like now he's stepped more into a more mature, more leadership role than what he used to be. And also with Thiago Silva in the team, I think Thiago Silva will probably keep him in check when it comes to the ego stuff.
I just want to provide some context to the situation. So, in the summer, Neymar will have 2 years left in his contract, and he has a current estimated market valuation of around 75 million euros.
Yeah, Chelsea perspective. Exactly what you're saying here, pretty much. I wouldn't rule out Bowley and Co going for Neymar for business perspective. I think Miz touched on this in a video that I saw earlier in the week. That it seems that Bowley really wants, or Bowley and Ighbali really want a player that's gonna bring in fans and really like even preseason sell out stadiums and all that. Just a really attractive player, you know.
Neymar would do that. Like he would sell a shit ton.
I think it's quite evident as well, and I don't know whether this is just Bowley and Ighbali or from Vivell as well, but I think it's quite clear that they want to break into that South American market.
Yeah,
I think very clear.
Very true.
With the attempted signing of Endrick, with the signing of Andrey Santos, with the fact we're looking at that Roque guy, whatever his name is, this thing
Ecuadorian kid too, which I didn't bring up. But
I would say the fact we looked into as well buying a team in Brazil. Like, yeah, it's very evident that we are trying to break into that Ecuadorian market, not Ecuadorian, South American, which I think is good.
You're trying to compete. I think we're trying to compete with the Real Madrids and the Barcelonas to try to make our badge a bit more effective to get these young talents.
By the way, nearly 110 of you guys watching. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. 61% of you, I think, that watch this aren't subscribed. So if you like the content, come subscribe. We do weekly shows here. Make sure you hit that bell notification. Smash the like button, which is the most important thing to help out the algorithm. And if you want to be a member, we have 4 different tiers starting at 99p. You get awesome emojis like the Romelu Lukaku thumbs up merchant and the for fuck's sake Jorginho emoji. So check it out. But on the topic of Brazilian or South American teams and players, there's an update on the Santos work permit.
I gotta go now, Marshall.
All right, Chris, I didn't want you here anyways.
I feel very mutual with you as well, man. Like it's thick in the face.
Have a nice little shoot.
I'll see you guys later, but Marshall.
Later, Chris.
Have a nice
I'll let you know. All right, you have a good one, Chris. But anyways, so we have David Ornstein here reporting that Chelsea have not yet applied for Andrey Santos' work permit. 18-year-old was not going to play for CFC this season and has international duty, so likely to join Brazilian top-tier side on loan before getting work permit in the summer. Key part of the midfield rebuild. And other outlets seem to report. David Ornstein is the only one reporting that we didn't actually put in for a work permit. The other outlets said that it was rejected by the Premier League. So I don't know which to believe. I'm inclined to believe that Ornstein is probably right in this situation.
Law didn't even. I don't think Law said anything about it. By the way, as well.
I don't think Law even mentioned it.
The people that I saw comment about it was Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein, and they both said opposite things. Fabrizio said.
Nizar also said apparently that the work permit failed as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the only takeaway I really have from this. Like Nizar's fall off is kind of mad.
He's actually crazy. Like how bad he's fall off. Like he has no sources in the club anymore. Man.
This season, he just went from a completely reliable source to like absolutely unreliable.
Like Adam Newson right now probably is like.
Oh fuck him.
After like after him. He's him basically.
Wait, hold on, Scott. Did you say you're blacked by Adam Newson?
No, yeah, blocked. Yeah, he blocked me.
What?
Oh, is it? Damn, what did you say?
Yes! There you go. Our proper Scott.
But for me, like, I think. But he's like for me after Matt Law, it's Adam Newson for me. Who's like now the new number 2 after. He actually broke the Madueke knees. I think he also broke some other knees as well. But regarding Enzo saying that it was done at 9:30.
Right.
Another tweet here that I want to mention is that Chelsea have accepted a deal to loan Andrey Santos to Palmeiras until 2023, which is good. It's their top side in Brazil. We're very familiar with them guys. But Santos gets to make the final decision on what's going to happen. And one more tweet here about Andrey Santos. Fabrizio Romano reporting he will travel to Brazil on Sunday in order to complete his loan move to Palmeiras, valid until December, end of Brazilian season. Medical at the beginning of next week if all goes as planned. Chelsea have a clause to recall Andrey Santos in June. Listen, this kid, he had a fantastic under 21, right? Yeah, under 21 Brazil under 20 tournament, World Cup tournament, I believe, too, as well.
South American South American under 20s.
It was the South American International or Championships. It's the equivalent of the Euros, or it's the equivalent of the under 20 European Championship.
This is why I say I'm a casual. Thank you guys.
No, obviously, you know what?
Thank you. That's why I have you guys to correct me when I'm wrong.
Also as well, so you know, Chukwuemeka won the award for best player in that competition, the under 20 European Championship.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, then Santos won the best player at the South American Championships at the same age group.
And Enzo won best young player in the World Cup. We're cooking, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of youth coming through, and I'm really excited, especially this kid. Actually, I went from not being that excited about it to I'm actually thrilled because this man actually scored in every single game, right?
He's their captain as well. He captained them to the win.
He was also, he was joint top goal scorer. He scored 6 goals. He was joint top goal scorer with 2 other players who I both think played for Brazil.
Yep.
Yeah, so good for him, and he's doing it from basically a DM position as well. Mind you, yes, everyone he's played with, we're all around the same age range and all that. It look, at the end of the day, if you could still do it in a competition like that, it goes a long way. It still means something. So listen, good for him. You got to be able to score, and especially scoring from a DM position, which he was for the most part, either a DM as an 8 from what I could see.
Either
it's still very good for a midfield to score. I think it was at the end of the tournament, the tally came out to be 7 goals, I believe. 6 goals.
Yeah,
it's good stuff, man. It's really good stuff, and he got the winning goal for the final as well.
Yeah, he did.
Also, as well, just on the actual loan itself, this is a brilliant loan. Everything about
wrong, Felix.
Incredible. Palmeiras, they won the Brazilian league last season. I just had a little check. How comfortably did they win it? Oh, by 8 points. Okay,
that's pretty comfortable.
Yep. But yeah, so like he's also going to have the chance to play in the Libertadores, Copa Libertadores next season. I assume anyway, because I assume the team who finishes top in the Brazilian league goes into that, which is that's the South American equivalent.
Cool. Yes. I just had to double take because it's December of next season. So yeah.
Yes. Theirs is like the MLS or like the Norwegian league, where it's like March to December. I think is their league.
That's going to be exciting for him, to be honest.
And then also like the fact we've got that recall clause for June, depending on how his development goes and everything, and like how the squad's looking. Like,
that's a brilliant inclusion, because I think, Scott, you've mentioned it before, how our loan planning this season in terms of how, our players aren't seemingly getting minutes. We recalled Vale from Hull because he wasn't getting the minutes.
Oh, no, sorry. We didn't recall him. That loan got terminated.
Either or. And also, I believe Cesare Casadei has gone 3 games at Reading as an unused sub. So, to have that option and bring him back if he needs the development with us rather than just sitting on their bench, it's great.
That's the only thing you can say about this ownership group and this, like, so far this season in terms of from transfers for a negative sense. The loan transfers we've done for the most part have been really bad. And whether that be just to get, like, actually some have been all right. Mostly some of the ones to get rid of players we don't need, like Bakayoko, etc. But when it comes to actually developing players like Xavier Simons, another one, he barely plays for Hull. You had a keeper just come back recently, Bergstrom, who was literally just in the Champions League squad. He's got recalled. I don't necessarily think he was playing bad though. I think that was because of Mendy's injury. But
they put on the B list.
But yeah, there was like our loans this season have been quite bad.
Okay, so I had a bunch of tweets loaded up for the next topic, but they disappeared. So we're gonna wing it. It happens. It happens. We're gonna wing it. Let's talk about Reece James and Mount's future. All right. So Reece James apparently being groomed to be future captain of Chelsea, which again, I think we've said it here multiple times on this channel, other channels. We've kept it consistent. When it comes to the captaincy role, Reece James seems to be the one that's most fit based off performances, the standard that he holds. He's already signed the contract. He loves the club, and you can see how serious he takes every single game. And Mason Mount was also in contention to be a future captain, but the issue with Mason Mount is that he hasn't signed a contract. He's now, as of now, from what I heard and read, he's changing managers to his father now. His father is going to.
I'll say that happened a while ago. That happened in 2021, bro. That happened a couple of years ago. That was 2021.
Yeah, so his dad's been his main man, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So that's happened now. And I'm only just reporting it. But
I was going to say, you're normally only like a week late, not 2 years.
yeah. Well, shit, man. Maybe I should look at the dates.
Maybe his dad wants him to play for the Pompies, isn't it? You know, you never know.
Oh,
who knows? But yeah, usually when it comes to parents leading, I don't get that joke. I'm sorry.
Pompey is like where he's from.
Oh, he's a Portsmouth boy. His team's Portsmouth.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah, he's from the south coast.
Yeah. Also, Ahmed, you know it's Pompey, just not the Pompeys.
My bad. Yeah, I said Pompeys is cool. That's why.
So, I mean, and now there's recent news that Liverpool are now really pursuing Mason Mount more than before. I'll go and find the tweets while we discuss it. But yeah, I mean, are we really surprised Reece James is going to be a captain? I don't think that's really surprising at all.
I was going to say, I think depending on the situation with Azpi in the summer, like if he leaves or if he goes, like there is a very good chance that Reece James will be made the vice captain.
And also, I mean, Jorginho's gone now, so that's less.
That's what I mean. Like,
options.
I think depending on if Azpi leaves or not, if he does, you'll have Silva as the captain and Reece as the vice captain. Is what I think they'll do.
Yeah, I'd be very happy to see that because James isn't quite there yet. He still does sometimes get a bit of a temper during the games. He'll push someone or something. He has these little moments at times. So he's still 22, so he's definitely got time on his side to mature out of that. And he's already captained at youth level. It could definitely work. So vice captaincy, that's the logical next step. As assuming Azpi leaves, Silva goes from the vice to the actual captain, and then James could be the vice
as well.
Oh, he's not captain.
He was given the captain's armband yesterday.
Was he?
Yeah.
No, Azpi started.
Azpi started, but after Azpi was Kovacic.
Wait, what? Fucking
yeah.
Kovacic would have been Scott. He means after the stretcher.
Yeah, no, I know what he means, but I'm like, even so, like, I'm trying to think who else.
Who else would it have been, though?
It would have been Mount, but Mount's off.
I was going to say,
because it goes Azpi, Thiago Silva, then Mount, and then it would be Kovacic, I believe. That's how it goes.
Christ, man.
It makes sense with the players on the pitch. It makes sense with them.
Does it? It probably does, actually. The more I'm thinking about it in my head, they're really...
We had like Gallagher and, Havertz and all them on the pitch, and Badiashile, Fofana.
No, to be fair, the more I think about it, you're right. It did make sense. But that just shows kind of like we've got no leaders in our team. Like, nothing against Cover, but he does not strike me as captain material.
Did you guys see that clip? Do you guys see that clip? They were coming out for the warm-ups, and Azpi was like, come on, let's go. And it looks so dead. Like from everyone else. Like, he tried to, lift them, and then they was kind of, that wasn't great viewing.
I mean, I'm hoping Enzo also. I could see Enzo becoming a future captain option.
And there was also that quote. Chilwell did an interview with Match of the Day, and he was like, "The dressing room's flat at the moment." So
I saw that. I did see.
That's
that.
why for me, I'm seeing that is fishy. Tomorrow off. If it is for 2 days, then I'm gonna lose it. But if it isn't for 2 days, it's just say Ahmed told you so.
Maybe
Ahmed Dagger.
Maybe. Yeah, an Ahmed Dagger. Oh my days. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what's gonna happen with all that. I'm happy to hear that the club are in agreements that it's looking like Reece James is gonna be a future captain in this club. I think he deserves it. You've seen it multiple times in big occasions how he steps up to the plate and demands a certain level of performance from himself and from the players around him. I'm sure I've seen him vocal many a times. Look, Mason, I do appreciate that Mason's a vocal character on the pitch. Whether he knows what he's talking about is another question.
He's not
You
vocal in
don't
the
think
right
so?
way. No.
Oh, in the
not at
right
all.
way.
Like,
Yeah, in the right way.
Because like the stuff I see him do in terms of like, yeah, he doesn't. He's not vocal in the right way. And he does the stuff that Reece does as well, that Oliver was talking about in terms of like the petulant stuff. But it's like, so like it's almost like, especially this season, as high as I see it, it's like all the time. It's every game. He does it all the time. He did it in the game against Fulham with Tete, where it's like he tries to foul Tete. Tete beats him like with a nice bit of skill, and then just goes and fouls him again.
And it's how he got suspended against for the Dortmund second leg as well. That was quite petulant.
Yeah, and it's like he did the same thing. He didn't get yellow carded for it, but he did the same thing against Southampton, where it's like it's just stupid niggling shit like that. And it's like that. Yeah, that's when you need someone with like a cooler head, like someone with a bit of clarity, like to just. Yeah, like the fact that he's doing that means he's not good enough captain material, because if he was a good enough captain, he wouldn't be doing that, because he'd be the guy that goes up to a player that is doing that and like tells them to calm down, like gets them to clear their head. And it's like he doesn't do it himself, so he's not going to start telling other people to do it.
And also, what do you guys think about are there really much rumors? I think it's kind of confirmed that Mason's been asking for 3 times his wage. So he's at 80K right now. He's asking to be paid 240 a week. Yeah. Which I think is a little absurd considering his recent performances.
Yeah, we all knew this though. Like, it's nothing new for me personally.
It's always been reported. It's the 200 to 300 range. That's sort of what's always been touted.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve it. No one can ever convince me he does. But we just got to wait and see what happens. Like this ownership group and like the backroom staff and everything seem intent on not backing down to his demands. Like they are willing to give him what he wants to a certain point. Like they're not going to give him everything he wants. But we'll see. You know, hopefully he continues on this road and we hear here we go in the summer and see Mason Mount in a Liverpool jersey.
and to bring it back to what Scott's point earlier with the number 10s as well, you know, that could definitely play a role. You know, if we manage to get Felix on top of Nkunku, that would definitely make it less of a thing where Mount is like, you know, has to be an option, because, you know, now we have 2 elite players in that position.
I want to check something actually. Keep talking. I just want to check something.
I think with Mount, bro, we'll see what happens, bro. But at the end of the day, I couldn't care less. If he's gonna go, let him go. If he isn't gonna stay here, then just don't let him stay. It gets that easier. And like right now, he's become like the new Jorginho in the sense that, you know, everyone either loves him or they hate him. We don't need that much. We don't need that nonsense anymore.
Yeah, but at least Jorginho performed, man. I mean, okay, hold on. Let me be fair.
Wait. No, Marshall, we know, you and I, we already know about Jorginho, but I'm saying what Jorginho was like to the fan base is what I think Mount has become now. That's what I'm trying to say. Where
I'd say Cucurella is giving me 18-19 Jorginho, 18-19 Jorginho kind of vibes with the fan base. Like they just don't get Cucurella from like a profile point of view. Like they want him to be Alonso and Chilwell, but he's just not that. So don't expect it.
On the Mount thing, by the way, I was just doing a little bit of research. If he gets that money, he'll be the joint 4th highest earning midfielder in the league.
Jesus Christ.
He'll be on the same wage as Bruno Fernandes. The only midfielders who will be earning more than him are N'Golo Kante, Casemiro, and Kevin De Bruyne.
Also, you got like, I don't know how Mason now can look at his performances and think he can like have the bullocks to even ask for that amount. Like, yeah, I get Jack Grealish and Jadon Sancho, which you want to reflect, but
as a white man said, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Just because these guys, and this is the thing, and I see people going, like Koulibaly's on high wages. Yes, Sterling, right, shouldn't be on high wages. The thing is on Sterling, right? Sterling, you can make the case of like he was given those wages because of what he did entire time at City, right?
I understand why Sterling's on them wages. That's just an argument that people push.
Yeah,
not
like, that's fair. But just because they're on higher wages than they probably deserve does not mean to counteract that, to make things right in the world, we should give someone else more wages than what they're worth. Because you know who does that consistently as a club? Man United, and that's why their wage bill is fucked. And they were at one point paying Cristiano Ronaldo 500 grand a week to sit at home and do nothing. That's why their highest earner is earning damn near 400 grand a week, and he's their goalkeeper.
And also, Marshall, if you think about it, you asked the question, why does he think he's worth that money? Yesterday, yesterday's Sunday, so it'd be the day before. Yeah, so the day before, this guy had like a huge banner, bro, that they were giving out for him. So, like, he's been made to look like the face of the club. Of course, he's going to be asking for 240k a week. Like, it's not even if you look at his peers, just what the club have done for him.
It just confuses me because, like, you look at, like, what Scott brought up, right, with Sterling. He has a history. Even though Jadon Sancho and Jack Grealish, you could argue that they were considerable flops for the club at the moment that they're in. I could even say that they both stepped up a little bit since joining their respective clubs. But even then, before they joined those clubs, Jack Grealish at Aston Villa put up incredible numbers. And same thing with Jadon Sancho, Borussia Dortmund. He put up incredible numbers. Look, last season, Mason Mount, were those incredible numbers?
No,
really.
No, the numbers were good. The problem was from a overall performance perspective. You'd have to say.
Yeah, and it wasn't
He
there.
got 29
Oliver,
GA in.
But Oliver, were the numbers good though? Or were the numbers just good for Chelsea standards last season?
They're only not good if you add the context that, okay, it's against your Norwiches and stuff. But apart from that, if you look at it just as numbers, the numbers are good. It's just the performances, really. He's playing, this is the way I put it. Like, he's playing the exact same way this season. There's just no output.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's had 4 games, like at least 4 games where the stats have come out after the games, and we could tell this from the games anyway. But if you look at the stats from the last game, it was either the last game or the game before where he was a sub in the Dortmund game, maybe, or before he got subbed off. And it was like he had like 64% pass accuracy. The stat I saw, I think today or yesterday potentially, was that in the entire first half, as either a left winger or a 10, he didn't complete an entire pass into the final third.
Yep, 0-3.
Zero Jules as well. Jules won.
And as I said, this is about the 4th or 5th game he's put up similar numbers to this. The fact that Kepa made nearly 3 times the number of successful passes that he did is embarrassing.
I think Havertz also managed to get more touches on the ball from his sub appearance than Mount did in 67 minutes. I think that was the thing.
Yep.
And this is the thing. It's like this is a consistent thing now, where it's like this guy is not doing it, and we can't keep going back to previous seasons, and people can't keep telling me, "Oh, this is form and whatnot." Like, at what point, like, does form just become how good you are as a person, like, or a player, I should say? Like, I think we're past this point. This is a consistent, he's consistently putting in these performances. That's not form.
Yeah, well, isn't the expression, form is temporary, class is permanent? This definitely isn't temporary.
I was going to say, this is the thing as well. If you want to go on actual performances, he's had, like, in terms of his Chelsea career, he's had a longer period or a longer stretch of bad games than he has good games.
Yeah.
If you take the numbers out of it and just look at his performances have been a majority, or not majority, but have been more in favour of being bad than good.
Yeah.
It hasn't been good, but we're about to end the show, ladies and
just on the Mount thing. And I'm not just saying this because I dislike Mount. I promise this is not coming from like an agenda point of view. You can really make the case that he's been our worst player this season.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I don't think you really need to make a case. The stats and the performances kind of speak for themselves.
And the minutes as well. The minutes
as well. Yeah. If you don't see it by now, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You're probably watching too much Minerals. And speaking of Minerals, I have something here to leave you guys off on. A little bit of a laugh for all of us who are a little depressed with Chelsea at the moment. Big up to Latimus Prime for providing us with this content. But just putting this out there. And maybe if Mason Mount goes, he goes with him. So
Oh,
I thought you were going to play the video.
I have to hide my phone. That's wild.
The video, yeah, I'm putting it. Yeah, he says he's putting Mount up there with Messi. Like, come on, man. The video's right here.
Like, didn't he like post a video, or like didn't he take a video?
Yeah, he was.
Of Reece or something?
He was sitting behind the dugout and he was saying, "Gaffer, fix this. This ain't Chelsea." And then James just glared at him.
Oh yeah. And this guy's delusional enough to think that he like, oh, James, he knows. It's like, no, James was looking at you like, who the fuck is this drunk old man yelling so loud behind me?
God, that you're taking the piss. That's not true. Please tell me that's not true.
What is?
Look at his second to last comment. That's not true. Please tell me that's not true. Like, no, please, man. Like, that's not.
One of Johnny's members saying Kai Havertz would be winning Ballon d'Or.
Oh my god!
I love Kai
you can
too.
Have the best quality ingredients.
No way.
The chef can't cook. Kai, big up Kai too.
Big up Kai as always. But ladies and gents, we're gonna end the show on this beautiful note here. Hey, beautiful work of art here. Let's hope that minerals goes where minerals goes. Okay. Yes, but ladies and gents, thank you for watching. I'm going to send you over to Flawless as always. Big up to Sarcasm City. Check out his channel down below in the description if you guys haven't already done so. There was nearly 120 of you watching. Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in. The channel is growing, as you can see. Keep smashing those like buttons. It does help tremendously. Keep subscribing, keep checking out the other content that we had a stream yesterday talking about the Southampton game and all that stuff. We're going to be having more content for you guys available soon. We have memberships now, 99p the first membership, and then we grow from there. You have emojis that go with it as well. This channel is going to be big, man. I'm telling you right now. So come be a part of the casuals. Come join us, our little little cove here. But yeah, check out the links below. Our Discord is on there. We have a pretty active Discord community. You can come watch the games with me, myself, and many others. And yeah, check out the Twitter as well, all on there. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about everything.
Talk about Ziyech as well on the Discord as well.
Yeah, we can talk about Ziyech. You can talk about Ziyech all you want, Ahmed, on the Discord. Yeah, but yeah, you guys, I think next time we'll be back will be Wednesday, and I might have an extra show this week. I don't know, but that's why you have to have the bell notifications on. If Potter is sacked tomorrow, we might have to have an emergency stream. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, bro, everyone's gonna be streaming.
Yeah. I think we should be ready for that one.
The traffic's gonna be mad. Yeah.
Traffic is gonna be crazy.
4 different streams. And bro, if Andrew will be jumping on about 10 streams in a day.
Yeah, he
better have your phones charged, your laptops ready, man.
I'll just be here on Sarcasm. Lewis has got a lot of players. I'm already on that, man. He'll be in the first second. So
yeah, Lewis has a lot of players.
That would just be that entire stream would just
that block is
just be a bunch of partying from some people, and then like just basically speculation about who we want the next manager to be. The whole stream,
probably.
Basically,
and declared. Don't forget declared. He'll probably be there.
You never know, magic.
Oh my days. All right, ladies and gents, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Enjoy Sarcasm City. We'll catch you over there. Make sure you let them know that the casuals sent you. All right, we're gonna have a raid message soon. I'm gonna make that a thing soon. But you guys have a wonderful rest of your night.